Yo, my friend, welcome to Coach Paul's Life Tip Podcast. This is a place where you are going to be set free through every single day, challenges, struggles, possibilities, all of those things in your life. These life tips are going to help you navigate to your process. Hit that subscribe button here on iTunes and drop me a review down below if you like my content. You could also follow me on Spotify, iHeart, and YouTube. Now, here's the kicker. If you want to watch me live, you can pick me up live every single day on Facebook at facebook.com/Coach Paul Ibarra. I come on 7:30 a.m. every single morning, Central Standard Time, to bring you these tips. So once again, that's facebook.com/Coach Paul Ibarra. So if you are all about community and helping build a community, then that's the place to be. With that being said, sit back and enjoy the ride. Welcome back to another life tip here with Coach Paul Ibarra. And remember, you can go and get my free download when my book gets published in June. You can go to bit.ly/life tips free. But you've got to sign up now before June 1st so that you can be on the list so that when that book drops, you get the free PDF for your files. All right. So life tip number 50, an anxious approach births a chaotic result. Have you ever been in that situation where you make decisions out of chaotic mindsets? Have you ever had those results where you could have taken your time to do something, but with that anxious approach, things just didn't go the right way, the way you anticipated them? Listen, we all have. You're not alone. But what we do with those experiences, it's what is going to launch us into a good season. And so I'm going to read that again. An anxious approach births a chaotic result. You know, there's a story in the Bible that talks about this king. His name is King Saul. So Google it for yourself if you're not a believer, or maybe you're not a believer and you know the Bible and you know this story. But King Saul was so anxious because he was about to go to war and the prophet didn't show up. And so he had seen the prophet do different types of sacrifices, build altars. I mean, he saw him do it all. But his anxious approach birthed a chaotic result. So as the prophet shows up after he did the sacrifice, he built the altar, he did all that, the prophet shows up and says, "What are you doing, dude? Like, what are you doing? This is not your lane. This is not your anointing. This is not your position. Have you, my friend, ever done something out of anxiousness that was not your lane? Maybe you were at work and there was a problem that happened and there was maybe a customer that was irate and you took it upon yourself to take money out of your pocket and fix things, or you didn't follow protocol. And then the boss shows up and they're like, why did you go and do that? Which actually made the problem even worse, right? When you did that, what were the results of that? You may have gotten fired. You may have gotten into an argument with your boss or your supervisor or your peers. Something might have happened to cause that situation to even create more anxiousness and crazy results. That goes the same with this story in the Bible. So the king took it upon himself because the prophet didn't show up exactly the moment that he wanted him to show up. So he took it upon himself to fill those shoes. The approach that he took was in anxiousness. And when the prophet showed up, again, he asked him the question, what are you doing, dude? This is not what you are supposed to be doing. You are a king. I told you that everything is God's timing. God has you protected. God has you lined up. God knows exactly what is going on, but you took it upon yourself to create this situation. Situation number 2, God gave Abraham a promise that he was going to have kids. Abraham was, I believe, like 90 years old. His wife was old too, so her eggs were already dried up. God promised them a son. Well, they took it upon themselves. She took it upon herself to give him a servant girl that was under her protection and her covering to go and have sex and create this child. Well, when that happened, it created a chaotic result because now the mistress, the servant girl, has more love from the husband. The wife is looking at this servant girl with hatred. So it became this chaotic result. Read that story for yourself. In the end result, when God gave them the promise that he gave them, which was through Sarah, then everything was fine. There was peace in that. So what am I getting at today? When you approach things in anxiousness, you are not going to like the results. But there is hope. Halfway through your anxiousness, you may have to stop and say, okay, let me just rethink this real quick so our results come out better. Listen, my friend, I've been in your position where those anxious approaches happen. But when we learn from them and we look at a problem, a pipe bursting, gas spill, the baby drops something that's precious in your house, it's an accident. Life happens. Things happen. It's about how you approach those things. Now, does your child need to be disciplined in certain things in your life? Absolutely. But it's the way that you approach them that's going to bring a more sensible result in your life. So what can you think about right now in this moment that you are approaching just today that is in an anxious mindset? Take a step back and really think about what you're doing so that you can see a better result. All right. So I hope this has blessed you today. I will return again with life tip number 51. So with that being said, be blessed and go out there and have a peaceful mindset to have better results. See you on the next one. I want to thank you once again for tuning in to Your Life Tips with Coach Paul. If this podcast has brought value to your life, hit that subscribe button, my friend, and drop me a review if you haven't already. And just a reminder, you can catch my latest live tips on facebook.com/Coach Paul Ibarra, 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time every weekday morning. And if you or anyone needs help in any area that you have heard me touch on, I am here to serve you, my friend. Visit my website, setfreelife.net, to schedule a free call with me, Coach Paul. So, until we meet again, keep it moving and share some kindness with someone today. God bless.